Hello, it's Miriam from Messy Paper Wheels here, and today I have a new camera set up. Check it out. Yay, you can see what I'm doing close up on my desk. It's exciting, but you can also see my messiness here on my desk as well. I got this little thing over here, it's just full of goodies. I'm working on a current journal. See, I got stuff flying everywhere. But today I wanted to do something that I was inspired to do by Melina at crafty scrapper, I believe it is. Scrapbookingwithme.com is their website. She, her mother, and I'm not sure who else is involved, but there's a group of them and they do videos and things. Just trimming a thread off there, getting distracted here while I'm talking to you. Anyway, on one of her msscrapbusters, she showed how to do what she called a belly band slide. I have my own little take on that, so I'm going to show you. Really, this is simple, folks. This video will probably not take me more than maybe 10-15 minutes, and that's even with a lot of run in my mouth here. So basically what you'll need, of course, is some glue. I'm using right now, because I need to use it up, is just some white tacky glue, just in a Sugar Bell. Well, it's actually a Sugar Bell point, not a Sugar Bell bottle. And would you believe my glue is stopped up? So let me get a straight pen out of my Fabrifix here, because it's the closest one handy, and I'll unplug my glue. But anyway, you need your glue, some scissors, some kind of a journaling card, a piece of cardstock, a pretty piece of paper. Really, you can make these out of whatever you would want to make them out of. I'm working on a journal for my mom. Don't tell her, okay? Because it's a surprise. However, I'm working on a journal that's going to function more like almost like a memory book for her. She's getting older in age and is a bit forgetful, so I'm going to make her a memory book and have some things in it that might spark some memory, give her some good memories. It's going to have some pictures of children, grandchildren, and that kind of thing. So anyway, I found these 2 pages here that I'm going to use to make my belly band part of this. Melina did, on her, she was doing what she called belly band slides. She had actually a tag and sliding it in and out of the belly band. I'm going to make a belly band, and I'm going to put a journal card on top of it, and you'll be able to slide it up or down the page depending on what you want to do. I mean, I know my journal height is 8 inches, so if I look at these, now I was telling you what you needed and I got all distracted. So anyway, some kind of journaling card. I'm going to use this one. I've already sewed material in the back of it. You can use paper, anything you want. And make sure whatever base paper for your belly band is, check it for height so you can make sure it's going to be about the right height for a belly band. I'm simply going to take this one, and these are from an old Ideals magazine. I got a couple options here. I think they only print these a couple times a year now. Ooh, that's awful pretty. But it won't matter what's on the back because you're not going to see the back. It's going to get glued down like a belly band. And I think I'm just going to use this one here. And I'm going to use the family picnic. I just think it's a kind of neat poem. The whole idea here, I don't have a prototype, but once I get this made, you'll see what the final is going to be. and then you'll be able to decide how you want to do this. Because actually, if you don't use a poem or something under it, you're going to end up with you could use plain paper and make a secret journaling spot that you could cover up. So here we're going to just start with the basics here. We're just simply taking our paper, folding it in half there, and then I'm going to fold on this side just so that my poem is kind of centered here, because the poem itself is going to function as the belly band. So I'm just going to take this and fold it over enough. Make sure my top and bottom, I hate to measure and cut. And for those of you who are new here, let me take a minute to tell you who I am. I am Miriam. Of course, the site's called Messy Paper Wheels. I am in a wheelchair. I have a muscular dystrophy that limits my ability to move my arms. I'm in a wheelchair, but I still love paper crafting. So I'm finding supplies and things. I've already lost my straight pen that I had here for my glue. Well, if you see it somewhere, yell at me and tell me, because I'm sure not seeing it anywhere here. We'll set it aside and I'll get another one here in a bit, or use my little pokey tool. Anyway, I try to find tools and things that will work for me, because I'm in a wheelchair and I can't do some of the fine motor skills that a lot of people can. So I am making adjustments that work for people that might have some kind of a decreased strength, anything along that line. So I'm trying to create with things that might work for people like myself. I'm certainly not here to take away from anybody else's YouTube channel. At this point, I'm simply making journals for friends, family. Eventually, I may look at selling them, but I'm really not interested in that now. I just like seeing all the good ideas, and I like sharing how I do things, so that people can see how a person in a wheelchair is able to get some things accomplished. So anyway, I've got my book page here from an old Ideals magazine. It says Family Picnic, and so far all I've done is put it so that the Family Picnic is what's going to show in the front. Now this is going to be like a slide up and down this way. So you could slide it up and down as you're reading. If the page behind it were blank, you could have a picture here and then slide down, and then you could make this private journaling spot. When you're done writing, just slide it right back up over top there. And when this is laying on here, I can see that I need to fold this just a little bit more on each side, because I really don't want to have to back this journal card since I already have cloth behind it. You can use anything you want. Use your imagination when you're looking for things. Try to find something obviously that's going to fit in either a journal you're making or in some kind of a page or something along that line. You could even use this concept if you wanted to in a card for a friend. Put a picture on the bottom and then hide a little picture or a little note on the top underneath, and they slide that down, and then there's another little message. So either way it would work. So I'm going to fold this in, I don't know, maybe, what is that, 1/4 inch on each side. Your measurements, you really don't need measurements, and yours are going to vary and change and be different from mine anyway. So you just make sure, I don't know about you, but I like to keep my folds straight. Try to line them up. At least keep, if I cut a book page out, try to keep one of the straight edges from the book page as part of it, and that's here on the bottom, so I can try to fold the bottom here as close to, each other as I can. The fold there, that is probably as small as I can go, and let me check here and see. That's perfect, because I want to be able to slide that up and down like this, and to create my slide. This is going to be fastened down to the journal, and I will show you that. but I also do not want it to be more than 8 inches tall. And it looks like if well, you really can't see the bottom of my mat. Let me see if I can scoot my camera down a little so you can, there, how's that, better? New setup, I'm getting used to it, so thank you for your patience. I'm going to crop off this top. I like that decoration, but I also don't want to cut the little boy's head off on the bottom. So scissors, I just have found what scissors work for me. I find that a smaller pair of scissors works. These are, I don't know, some kind of scrapbooking scissors. I'm sorry, I don't have a name for you. I've had them so long. I used to do card making, but I'm not really sure what they are. I do have a couple pair from Fiskars that I like real well as too. Try to get that as straight as you can. If you don't get it real straight, we can kind of decorate it up a little bit on the top, because lace decorations and embellishment will cover a world of sin. So don't ever worry about making a mistake or not doing it right when you're creating things. All right, so if we get rid of that, where does the 8 takes us? Good. And we do not cut off the little boy. It takes us, I'm going to just fold the paper so you can see when I get here to the right spot. I'm going to go about right here and make a little crease because I don't, again, like to measure. And then I'm going to fold that up, get a crease in there so that I know where to cut, and it doesn't cut off either one of the kids' heads that'll be there at the bottom. So I think I will be good here. So I'm going to try, you can tear it off if you want. The one edge kind of looks nice, but I'm going to go ahead and have a finished edge here. And I'll probably ink it. I'm just going on one side of my fold there, trying to cut as straight as I possibly can. Maybe you can tell that better than I. That's not too straight, I don't believe. Let's see here. I haven't seen anybody else, unless they responded to Melina's Scrapbusters. I haven't seen anyone else post this particular video. However, in junk journaling, you'll find that every idea has probably been used at least once along the way. So maybe someone has done this. If you've seen it done before, please go ahead and let me know. I have this little device here that I use as a bone folder. And I just use it and crease. I think it's a scraper for Cricut. It's just real heavy plastic there, and you can just take it. You can use it as a glue spreader, whatever you, or folder, or however you choose to do that. Now, we don't need to worry about anything being able to go down in this. We're just going to glue it shut. In fact, I'm going to glue the whole, I'm going to glue top along here, glue these shut, and I'm going to glue along this side here, and I'm going to put glue here and here to make sure it's all closed up. So if you use a fine point and you don't have a lot of strength, you'll find that, well, great, my glue is going to not cooperate. Of course not. And I misplaced my pen already. So let me get another one here out of something in front of me. Here, we'll use my art glitter glue. I don't think it's clogged, and I'll just go ahead and use it. So hopefully it'll cooperate for me much better. Now, the art glitter glues, sometimes they're a little hard to squeeze. And when they are, I just dot, put a few dots along the way instead of doing a line. And then when you spread your glue out, that'll get it. If it doesn't catch anything, it's easier to put little dots down than try to run a whole line. And when you're just gluing something together, this method works real well. Or even when you're doing a pocket, You can check it once it's dry if you needed to add a little glue. Art glitter glue doesn't take a long time to dry. So it does work. Though my fave, of course, is Fabri-Tac. It's just a little more expensive, so I try to use a white glue, either some kind of a glitter glue or craft bond or something like that for my white. And then I'm not going to even worry about the center. I'm just going to fold this over and then take my little gadget. Oh, there's that straight pin. Oh, nope, that's the one I just took out. Then I see it now. It's clear over here. And as you can see, I didn't quite cut straight on the bottom, so I'm going to go ahead and stick it down on the top, stick it down on the bottom, and we can squirt some glue in there, trim it, whatever we need to do. Let's see. I'm going to just use my scissors again because that's easier for me rather than trying to use a craft knife. I don't have a lot of success with craft knives. So we'll just trim this baby up a bit. Again, if I need to, when I go to put it in the journal, I can trim it off to fit exactly in the journal. I have a little bit of room on top and bottom. I'm going to go ahead and make sure it's all glued shut because I don't want it coming apart at the top or the bottom. So I'm going to squirt some art glitter glue in here a little bit more and get this closed up. And I'm going to do the same thing here on the bottom. I hope if you like what you're seeing, or that you will like, subscribe, share the word. You know, I'm trying to get myself out there, so any like, subscribe, or share that you do would be very helpful to me. And I hope you come back. If you're a subscriber, I hope you stick around. Spread the word. Maybe I can get some more subscribers out there. Some people that might want to watch my videos, or even somebody that that will work perfect. Because I've got just enough on this side and this side to glue a little bit. You could probably sew these together and then slip it down over before you glue it down. Once this is glued down, you will not get this card off of here because it'll be glued down here and here. I've got just some colored index cards here. I got 3 different. My journal I'm working on is pink and green. But of course, craft cardstock goes with pretty much anything. So I thought I would see maybe, I think I'm going to use the craft. You're not really going to see that. It's not really going to matter much what it's going to be. So I am going to take, and I think this time I'll use my Fabri-Fix. This is a Sugar Bell bottle and a Sugar Bell tip. They work really, really well. You can put your Fabri-Fix in them. I also find another little secret. If the Fabri-Fix is too hard for you to put down, put a little bit of acetate in your bottle. Let it sit for about 24 hours and then mix it up real good. Your glue will flow just a little bit better. And it'll be easier for you to use the glue when you squeeze it. I'm not having any problem with mine squeezing with a Sugar Bell bottle. And I did add a little bit of acetate in it about, I don't know, week and a half ago. And it's still working great. So we're going to lay the belly band part away for just a few minutes. And we're going to take the journal card and we're just going to stick it down as close to the edge there as I could, even if I have to trim a little bit, because we want to make sure that it'll still fit over the band here. And before we put it on, now the Fabri-Fix should hold this, and it catches pretty tight. I do have fabric on the back of mine. That's partly why I went with Fabri-Fix. And then I'm going to take and just hand trim with my scissors. I'm going to trim off on this side. Hopefully it'll still go over the belly band and it'll still work. And I'll show you how it will work in a journal page before I finish here today. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. We've got the journal card on here. We've got it glued on one side, and we have it still slide up and down the belly band. So we got to be, when you glue this side, you're going to have to be real careful and make sure you get it on the very, very edge of that piece of craft cardstock here. So I'm going to simply, it keeps sliding on me. Okay, let's try now. I'm just going to barely get the edge here. And we'll go real slow, because if you go slower, you can get a little bit of glue out, and you can control your glue without just going really fast and swiping it down through there. You don't want a whole bunch because you don't want it to bleed out over onto your belly band. So you just need a real thin line there, and then take the journal card and push it down. Go on your back side, make sure that, you check your band, make sure it still slides. Yep. And then push it over as far as you can the other direction, and push this down really tight with your fingers here, because you want that to seal good. You could use your little bone folder thingy. I find that a bone folder that I hold like this is much easier for me to hold in my hands than, say, one of the other longer bone folders or so. So now we have a sliding belly band. But what's going to slide is not the belly band. It is the card on top. So you could have it up here at the top or down at the bottom, either one. And then you slide it down. And if this were blank, it could be a hidden journaling spot. So let me just grab a page here to resemble a journal page. I have some over here to the side. I'll grab them. These need trimmed at the top and bottom, but it's basically just a couple of printouts. One of them got some black on the corner, so I'll just use it for random things. But if this happened to be my journal, and I glued this down up here and here, then this could slide up or down, depending on how you wanted it to slide. So if you wanted to put just some, there's the pen one of the pens I was missing in. If you want to, if this were just a plain piece of paper, you could put, say, this up here. And then you could slide this up over top of it. If it were glued down, you still got room to slide it. The material on the back of my journal card is actually making it nice to slide that. So this would be stuck down here and here, and this slides back and forth. And that's really all there is to it, is just simply sliding it up and down your belly band. Only you want to hold this, and this is the part that slides. I'm doing it the other way. Okay, hope that makes sense to everyone. I'm not sure how else better I could explain it, but there we go. I'm going to, give me a minute. I'm going to get the journal I'm making, and I'll just go ahead and glue this down so you can see how it really does work in a journal. So if you give me a minute, I'll be right back, and I'll do that for you. Okay, I'm back here, but it looks like my video stopped. I'm going to try to add this one to the end of the other video. Hopefully that's what will be happening, and you will get to see that. So let's see where I'm going to put this. You know what? I actually, I think I was going to put that envelope on that page, but I think I'm going to hold that off. And I'm going to put it right here on this page because I think it would look really cool with the leaves there on the side. So I did not do this before, but I'm going to grab my inks. I already have my journal card I sewed on cloth all ready to go, so because I didn't know this is what I was going to do with it. So before I glue this down, well, where to go? Okay. This is one Chunky Monkey journal, so let's see here if I can use one hand to ink here, and then I'll glue it down after I like to get my ink thing good and inked, and then I don't have to leave that open and let the air get to it as much. So okay, I'm just going to ink along the edges of the band here just to give it some definition. I like inking with Vintage Photo. Everybody has their favorite. I like Vintage Photo. I also use some, I think I gathered twigs and walnut stain as well. Some brushed corduroy that's even lighter. So it just depends on, I like to use inks that's going to coordinate with whatever page I'm making, or even maybe the journal I'm making. This one is mainly pinks, greens, and burgundies. So I got that inked up. So now I'm going to set the ink back up here, and I'm going to take my Fabrifix if it did clot off while I was gone for a few minutes, and we'll make sure that this slides on here right, and we're just going to glue the top and the bottom and glue it down to the page. You could even create this journal card slide out of a piece of vellum so that you could see what's under it when you're sliding it up and down, but that wouldn't be very effective if you simply wanted to, well, it's not wanting to come out again. There it comes, maybe. If you're wanting to use it for hidden journaling, wouldn't be very effective to get that air out of there, so it'll squeeze right out when I squeeze the bottle. It wouldn't be very effective if you're going to use that spot for hidden journaling, so, which I'm not doing with mine, but if you want to do that with yours, you'll want to use you know, some kind of a blank paper and be real careful of where your slide's at and the size of your slide, so that it covers up your journaling spot. You can make the part that slides, you can make it as long as you would like. It really doesn't have to be any particular size. Now, if you want it, I suppose you could even turn your belly band sideways like this and slide it back and forth. So there we go. We got it here, and we're just going to press it down here at the top real good and press it down here at the bottom so I can get it on the page there. And once it's down good on the top and bottom, you now have this slide to slide up and down your belly band. I'm going to end it at this, so that's all today, folks. I'll see you tomorrow or the next day with another video. And maybe I'll have something else new to show you at that time. Bye. You guys have a good evening. See ya.